Okay, welcome to Accelerated Math Objective. Determine the surface area of a sphere. Of course, a sphere is a fancy word for saying ball, and I'll try my best to draw a sphere. So here's our sphere, and I drew in a radius line because that's typically what we're going to need. The surface area of a sphere formula is 4 pi r squared. Basically, if you peel off the outside of that sphere and laid it into circles with the same radius, you could fill up 4 circles with that surface area. And so each one of these circles represents pi r squared. Since there are 4 of them, it's 4 pi r squared. If you didn't get any of that, that's all right. You kind of need a demonstration of that to understand that one completely. But anyway, 4 pi r squared is the area or surface area of a sphere. Here we go. Radius. They're giving us the radius in this one, so this is our basic example. So it's 4 pi 13 squared. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to recommend that you take a look and you notice that all the answers have pi in them. So instead of actually calculating pi in the calculator, we're just going to leave it there. We're going to do 4 and we're going to do 13 squared. When I do that with the calculator, I get 169. So we still have the pi in there. Then we're going to use the commutative property of multiplication to rearrange this a little bit. And we've got 4 times 169, and we got 676 pi, and that's in, well, they said centimeters. That's centimeters squared. So there's our answer, 676 pi centimeters squared. All right, let's go on to the next one. Next one, it's basically the same thing, so I just kind of wanted to show it real quick. This time they gave me a drawing with that radius in there. A diameter would be all the way through. This is just a radius. It's halfway through. And we're going to plug it into 4 pi r squared. So we got 4 pi 16 squared. And 16 times 16, or 16 squared, is 256. And then times the 4 that was out front, so 256 here times 4 there, 1,024 pi. We're back to centimeters. Centimeters squared. There's our answer. 1,024 centimeters squared. Okay. What's the surface area of a sphere that has a diameter of 70? So when they give you a diameter, they've got this looking something like this. They're giving you the whole distance through it. You need to cut that in half to just get the radius. So we're going to take that 70 divided by 2. We got 35. That's our radius. So now we can plug it into our formula. So 4 pi r squared, 4 pi radius of 35 squared. I don't know 35 squared, so 35 times 35, or hit the square button. So it's 4 pi 1,225. I'm going to commutative property of multiplication those and multiply them times 4. I got 4,900 pi. Are we in centimeters? Yes, centimeters squared. There we go. All right. So diameter, just cut it in half. Get the radius. Next one. All right. Here, okay, a little bit different here. They're giving me a circumference of the sphere. Not a radius, not a diameter, but I need the radius. Okay, so circumference formula, the circumference is 2 pi r. And they told me that the circumference is equal to 20 pi. So I'm going to set these two equal to each other because they told me that the circumference is 20 pi. And I know the formula for circumference is 2 pi r. So I'm going to solve this. There's that radius I'm looking for. I'm going to solve this by dividing by 2 pi. Wow, a lot simpler than you thought, huh? Dividing that by 2 pi gets rid of that. Anything divided by itself is 1, so it's just left with 1 radius, or radius. And over here, these pi's cancel out because pi divided by pi is 1. 20 divided by 2, we know that. That's 10. So the radius is 10. Now I'm going into 4 pi r squared. 4. I'm going to leave the pi in there. I've got 10 squared. Of course, 10 squared is 100. Again, I'm going to rearrange some stuff. 4 times 100 is 400, so I've got 400 pi. And we're in inches this time, so it's inches squared. 400 pi inches squared. You can do this stuff. A little bit of a new wrinkle in that one with the circumference. You had to use the circumference formula to find the radius and then plug the radius in to the 4 pi r squared. Surface area of a sphere. And they're giving me a diameter. So they're giving me the diagram. This one's easy. We're just going to take the 48, divide it by 2, get my 24. That's a radius. Sorry for my bad handwriting. I'm going to plug it into 4 pi r squared. 4 pi 24 squared. 24 times 24, 576. So I've got 4 pi 576. Rearrange, times that by, 576 times 4. Boy, I really messed that up. Alright, 576 times 4, 2,304 pi. That's a lot of pi. And it's in meters, so it's meters squared. Alright, last one. And you should be off and running on this one. This one is a little bit different from the other ones. They're not giving me the radius. They showed it right here, but they're not giving me the value. They're telling me about this little cross section, the area blah 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 created by this circle. Well, I gotta move that. The area of the region that was created by this circular region passing through the center. That's just a circle, and the area is pi r squared. That's the area formula. And they told me that it was 1,521 pi. I need to know the radius. That's what I need to know to be able to do my 4 pi r squared formula. So, I want that radius, and I just looked at this and I said, well, you know what, they just told me this, that pi r squared is equal to this. I'm looking at the formula is 4 times pi r squared. Why do I even bother trying to get the radius? Why don't I just take the pi r square thing and multiply it times 4, because it's 4, and use a little substitution, 1521 pi, and multiply that. So I'm going to clear that. 4 times 1521 pi. I'll leave the pi off there because I know it's there, but it's 6,084 pi. I could have done that the other way and tried to solve this. I would have divided both sides by pi. That would have canceled those out. I would have had r squared equals 1521, and I would have square rooted both sides to get r equals whatever the square root of 1521. Alright, 1521 square at 39, so that's 39. So if you want to go back and check me and plug this in to the formula, you can. Otherwise, you can go with this 6084 pi inches squared. That's it. Have a good one.